Yamamina Quaba, Adam Bubbles, one tea, so a yas and got to a cry, she and then somewhere cost of the bobo so ever Ghana honey a person bobo so come is this on the day and mamma but on subscribe and not subscribe and one share no one like it or doing jelly at was say a day and mammy breaking news are ever a chema party of watch it down quite to drag such a man who to be deep MPP chairman from Nsawam prison ever honomo lawyer Cosibocho Junior Wakasa. Edi afawura ho zusu ora no egu enema ekoyi minority no central for omo hie mo omo ye kasa de fa good board no Sammy Gyamfi aba na bombo watoto edi ama Alexander Afenyoma akense no enya asem toto a sanso na akwati amra hye bidwani akasa edi afa good board ya ne minority no ho a ye pese ekọ ne ntentem a ye kodi ho komo enti mo me yenko ne ntentem so a yenkore ensem a Sammy Gyamfi in fact say a boxing ring no mujina ma enka was a minority no umutru tawo ensem ne anu yi awayi wodi ama no yenkotie no mra ye ba yebeto aso ebusiafo ye kwaba.
The gold board, the Afenyoma King says that the gold board has sold gold and made losses, and that no one should sell gold and make losses. And the tongue gold boka says those who recorded $400 million loss under domestic gold purchase program in 2024, according to the IMF they are quoting. And this is also coming from the same people under whose tenure another state institution, MEF, implemented a gold purchase program and recorded losses to the tune of over $90 million. Today, they want to give us lectures on gold trading. Ladies and gentlemen, I have news for them. We will not take moral lessons from the brothel. Then number two, they say, why has the Bank of Ghana pulled out of financing the gold board if gold board is not making losses? Number one, the Bank of Ghana has not pulled out from anything. The MPP government decided that it will run a program called Domestic Gold Purchase Program, which will be managed by the Bank of Ghana. And they designed that program in a certain way, which I will talk about it. President Mahama promised to reset Ghana, including the gold trade sector. And his reset is the gold board. The act has been passed and the gold board is ready for takeoff. And so this new gold board model as envisioned under the Gold Board Act is not anchored on Bank of Ghana financing gold board. The gold board has been given the powers under Section 18 of the Gold Board Act by Parliament to raise money for itself from the financial markets. And so if the gold board wants to assert that statutory mandate, and for that matter, the Bank of Ghana has to end what it was doing under the domestic gold purchase program, you don't look at that and say, oh, that means gold board was doing something wrong. I can tell you that as we speak, the IMF and the Bank of Ghana are all engaging gold board that they still want to be our fiscal agents under the gold board model, where they will be raising money for us as an intermediary. It is the gold board that is rather saying, no, we will do it ourselves.
Na dia mama say Sammy say send you quote abo bia be do aduane enye ya say abo akokua den say hia sekan nipa bi te say wono Alexander Afenyoma Akins a wono person supervise ye gold for oil e de kabaye nipa bi okoda electricity company of Ghana no Ghana Water Company no ne wie ye katwitwi die e de aba and that person no have the nerves I will not be criticizing Sammy Gyamfi. I will say where there is street bullet and Sammy Gyamfi ato na ode ama aye Alexander Afenyoma Akins. Na yenko akoti amra hye bidwani wakasa. Oso se worre ade a Alexander Afenyoma Akins eye no a eye deliberate attempt. Oso minority no omunim de pa. But I say we no wo mo boa pa. And wo mo pese wo ye bibia se na ebe wo mo di benwinu gold board no. Wo ye nkoti mra.
You see, I think it's appropriate. It's appropriate. Let me put it bluntly. Because I think that whatever has happened on the part of the minority, especially the minority leader, has been deliberate. Nothing short of that. Deliberate to come after the young man or come at him, say all kinds of things, push the agenda make it believable. Because for the past few days,
so you support,
the minority leader was all over.
The kind of language Sammy Gyamfi is
well,
using.
language may differ. I mean, I'm not too sure which language you think is not proper.
No, I'm not judging.
Like
I'm just asking a question.
Of the languages?
When he says that spam wine talk, for someone who's a minority leader,
I may use
a leader in your house. You don't allow that.
But I'm saying that
that's why I want us to clear that. You want him to apologize to Opinion Marking first of all for some of these.
For what?
Are you happy? Are you happy with the taste of? Are you happy with the taste of the language first of all?
When someone says something that is factually, not legally, where someone will say that we all have different legal opinions.
Right.
Factually, very well known that this is false. This is something that doesn't exist, has never existed.
Yeah.
And you think the minority leader is a kid in this game? Very, very, very intelligent. I know him to be very intelligent. So whatever he has been doing against Goldboard is deliberate. He's intelligent. He knows it's not true. Look, throughout the interviews, throughout the campaigns, moving from one station to the other recently, minority leader could not point to a page which had the said accusation against him.
And indeed, sorry and some everything should say the minority Alexander they knows what they are doing. Somebody can say video be popping up. I know woman some one more Kenya and say one more opposition. They have nothing to do than propagate. And then no, and I got Yamra should be because so reading some now banner IMF the buyer now. IMF didn't make categorical statement that air can say good board na boss I can. It mean who sent here some woman somewhere and some Gyamfi no am myself available. Says but me as supreme a friend I'm waba public account committee in church in Semu. So why don't you use your power as minority leader? Now one friend or a public accounts committee none same way no miss than to propagate. Said I am good independent massive. But then young correct. Because Boche Junior or a lawyer. Small guy, I want me a kusku a bear lawyer. Now what then send me the atruja. Eddie afa oram. I say ene so orana a good and orana are there and also air propaganda. The only here. Unnecessary arrest and then also air cost. You go to your question, Butcher Junior as camera.
Oral has become a tool for political convenience.
Why?
And I am very clear in my mind that if Madam Sedinam Temakulu was actually not convicted under the Eswal administration, probably her case also, the Attorney General would have withdrawn the case from court because they are just using oral to free all their people and rather arranging political opponents before the law court. Rushing their prosecutions. Some go through prosecutions 5 times a day, 5 hours a day. 5 times a week, 5 hours a day. I don't think that oral is really doing anything. Oral is struggling. Right. I think that oral is only a tool for political convenience and just a tool to hang political opponents.
But speaking of the Sedina Tamaklo one, though, the Attorney General has now gone to the Supreme Court fighting the decision by the Court of Appeal to set her free. So really, others would argue that the government is against that decision.
You see, it is very unfortunate that if you look at the constitutional provision that set up the office of the Attorney General, ordinarily the Attorney General by law is supposed to be the principal legal advisor to the government.
Okay.
But in this dispensation, you realize that the Attorney General has been reduced to the principal political advisor to the government, because anything and everything the Attorney General does goes with a certain political connotation. The entire Sedinam Temaklu and the desire of the government to contest her acquittal and discharge, I see it as a political charade. I see it as something that they are just doing it to reduce the uproar that was associated with the woman's acquittal and discharge. I don't think that it's anything that the government intends to actually push, because you realize that they initially filed the application with the Court of Appeal 2 days before the court would determine, scheduled before the court would determine, for the court to determine the application. They withdrew the application and repeated the application in the Supreme Court.
na o ka obi won ma on ti asie said na ntama kro case aya na da bia amurika yi oba ye na as government in power ye ne party member no wama kwan amomo aye extradition if United States the number akogina mreni mo aye appeal and the court of appeal judges ekotra asie nyina was appointed by Nana Adam Kwakufuado and nei aban sa aye appeal mu jano. So why should you still bring this issue? I don't understand. Well, another issue here come here say MPP muno omu nsheda eni sebi okronto obi obeye chairman dia momo. Could you believe say them no kase chairman Wontumi ewo prison say the nyina yin no, but people are propagating a o makofa forms a wono mpese omo to abama no say the be obeba be chairman e dey ama MPP ewo and also say na eko e dey no omo pese omo ka yenko na yenko hwe how a omo sidi nkomo no e pa che say ye rapa grave bu ache dankwa say the tie bia no Wontumi eba be chairman ewo MPP like how.
Well, what I would say is that on easy lies the head that wears the crown. We have the first step, which is to pick up the form. The second step, which is to file. If we do have any other challenges from the third step, we would have known that at least we put our hands to the wheel and we give it our best shot. Well, I think that we are not stepping back. We are particularly very encouraged with the enthusiasm and the support that we are receiving about Chairman Wontumi's chairmanship. I have received indications that a few friends of his in business and in corporate Ghana are glamoring support to be able to pick up forms for him. And so the forms will be picked very much so before the deadline is due.
TV so ye ni bushia ya che ene yaba ensema ekoso wo memu na ye pese tew ye bo modern na afi ye biebie so na ye wa ni kakra na ye de kyeremu Sammy Gyamfi akasa good board baba beyi Alexander Afenyo Markins ano sa enso na akwati amra hye bidwani de na no to good board yasimi ya eye lawyer Kosibuchu Junior ono so akasa e de afa ora ho ene nsem bi eka ho a ye de ba besom mu enye asebgoto akra ententem a umi yutu bi kan nkore Sammy Gyamfi anu yi a wode ama Alexander Afenyo Markins press conference oye ya no oboko adu say Sammy Gyamfi aboka 22 billion Ghana cedis a wadina so akasa yekuti nsem a Sammy Gyamfi e de eyi na no e de afa.
Well, what I would say is that on easy lies the head that wears the crown. We have the first step, which is to pick up the form. The second step, which is to file. If we do have any other challenges from the third step, we would have known that at least we put our hands to the wheel and we give it our best shot. Well, I think that we are not stepping back. We are particularly very encouraged with the enthusiasm and the support that we are receiving about Chairman Wontumi's chairmanship. I have received indications that a few friends of his in business and in corporate Ghana are glamoring support to be able to pick up forms for him. And so the forms will be picked very much so before the deadline is due.